And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday. It's October 12th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company. Our guest host today, David Hale.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coleman and Company on the 285th day of the year. Only 80 days left in this year, and it's flying by fast. And it's always on this day brought to you by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. The Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health, dedicated to delivering the highest care to women in all stages of life, is now in Lebanon. The Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health provides a wide range of obstetrical and gynecological care, including annual well women exams and pap smears, preventive screenings, pregnancy care, and delivery. They also offer same-day appointments. The Women's Health Team is committed to caring for you and your unique needs. You'll also be happy to know that Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center is now serving patients in Wilson County and in the surrounding counties. This nationally renowned cancer center has experienced on-staff, board-certified radiation oncologist and the latest, most advanced radiation technology with pinpoint precision. The Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center treats all types of cancer, provides the highest quality protocol and technology in the industry, as well as convenient, real-time access to clinical data for patients through VanderbiltHealthConnect.com. Hospitals are for healing, new life, and recovery. They are places of innovation, learning, and exploration. But more than anything, hospitals are really about one thing: community. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, honored to serve Wilson County and be part of all the great things that are happening here in Wilson County. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, 1411 Badura Parkway in Lebanon, Tennessee. We appreciate their sponsorship of Coleman and Company. On my first half, I have a person no stranger to me, and that is the good chief of Mount Juliet Fire Department, Mount Juliet. I'll say it correctly.
That's okay.
Jamie Luffman, welcome, Chief. We're glad you're here.
Well, thank you, David. We're glad to be here. We miss Coleman and we're just taken aback by the damage that water caused here. It kind of chokes you up a little bit when you know the history of this building and how long all that the good that's been done out of here over
Absolutely.
The mass communication waves.
Well, I have spent several days in this building over my lifetime, and I agree. It was tough to come in, but they're doing a great job of restoration and bringing it back to life. Yeah. And fortunately, through the skilled hands of the engineers here, they were able to keep everything up and running, and that's sort of a testament to technology as well as the folks.
Well, it's a hard way to get new toys, but I see a certain engineer through the glass over there, she's tickled about some of the new shiny toys she's going to be getting to run the show. So
absolutely. Yeah. And Jamie, you brought someone with you, and I will give you the honor of making the introduction.
Yes. This morning I brought Mr. Justin Beasley. He is the new public information officer for the city of Mount Juliet. He comes to us. He most recently, folks in radio might recognize his face. He was on, he was on Channel 4 as a beat reporter, if I'm not mistaken, for quite some time.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, and now he is the public information officer. So folks like myself, Deputy Chief Edwards, Tyler Chandler, Captain Chandler, and Chief Hambrick, and Chief Mullins, we can go about our rat killing, working our thing, and Justin will take care of getting the information out. And he's, I'll just go ahead and say it, he's a heck of a lot better looking than I ever thought about being, so that's more the better.
Well, he's got more hair than you do.
Well,
currently.
A cute ball has more hair than I have.
Justin, welcome to Coleman and Company.
Thank you.
And welcome to the city of Mount Juliet as well. You're going to be the public information officer for both the police and fire department, is that correct?
A little bit more for the fire department. Tyler Chandler has the police locked down, and I guess in no uncertain terms, he does a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
But in scenarios where there's needed backup. Hopefully we don't have too many of those situations because we've had a lot the last year, at least with the tornado and severe weather and stuff like that. But mainly I'll be with the fire, and I'll help out with police here and there. But the main responsibilities of my job kind of revolve around social media, getting the message out. It can be anything from a small community event to the Christmas parade. It's my job to kind of build up the excitement, get the story out about that. I'll be doing some grant writing as well. I've got a big, long book to read. It's a little dry, but we're going to be competitive with other cities to try to get that grant money out there. And I'm, a lot of people are like, "Are you liking your job? You like it?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm loving it. Like, the people are fantastic. The team is fantastic. And I'm the lucky one, quite honestly. And I'm thankful to be here."
So let's talk a little bit about, so all the listeners know a little about you. Are you originally a Tennessee native, or tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm originally from Tennessee. I was born in Memphis, raised in Covington, went to high school in Jackson, so I'm a West Tennessee boy. I went to Middle Tennessee for college, and then went to Paducah, and then Nashville for my television career. Now I'm here in Wilson County. I still live in Murfreesboro. That's where me and my wife met. We're involved in the church, got a ton of friends there. Bought a house before it cost $500,000 to get one. So we're thankful to be in the Middle Tennessee area. But like most people, not from here, but a transplant here, but we enjoy it.
Absolutely. So when you went to Paducah, you went there in the news industry. That what you were doing there?
So I was doing sports. I did sports there for 2.5 years, and that's always been my background. I still love sports just as much as I did back then. I did sports for 2.5 years in Nashville as well. Then COVID happened, and I couldn't hide in the sports office for 5 months. So I told my managers, I said, "Hey, I've done a little bit of everything here. I'm pretty versatile. Let me do something." So they helped me work in the mornings with Joe Dubin until about November. And then after November, I was like, maybe I'll get back into the sports thing. And they asked me to cover news in Wilson and Sumner County. Well, at that point, I kind of wanted to go back to sports, but also I think the Lord was kind of tugging on my heart to say, "Hey, maybe I have something different planned for you." News definitely wasn't my passion per se, but I definitely met people specifically in Wilson County that led me to this job. So I'm real thankful for that. But I don't miss working the weekends and late nights that sports revolved around in the television medium. So if that makes sense to you.
Sure. And being the public information officer for any kind of emergency services really has so many opportunities, some of them unfortunate because you have to report and provide information about something bad that's happened to someone. But because particularly the fire service has such a long history and such a rich history, and there's a lot of stuff back in the past that you can dig back to. And we were talking before we came on the air about the Great Chicago Fire, and the fact that October is Fire Prevention Month, and we just passed the anniversary of the Great Chicago Fire as we were talking, burned for 3 days, and the rain helped put it out. So an example of how much history there is that you kind of dig back and make a platform to.
Yeah, Jamie and Joey are an encyclopedia for all that, and I know that they make a great team. Joey just hired, I believe, 2 years ago, and I've spent a lot of time with you at the new fire department, and then celebrating the 8-year anniversary and getting to know the guys. And quite honestly, coming from the local news background and just being raised right, I've always had appreciation for fire and police, and it kind of feels cool to not be on the team, but kind of be on the team on some days. And I definitely have a lot of respect for both of those fields. Definitely not as brave as you guys, but we certainly appreciate everything you guys do, for sure, men and women.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jamie. Some days it takes an equal amount of courage to step in front of that camera or that microphone.
Or in front of that commission.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know,
Yeah.
I know lots of.
Or the graduating 5th grade class at Mount Juliet Elementary School. That can be a tough
Absolutely.
crowd, let me tell you.
Who can have some of the very best questions, right?
Absolutely. Out of the mouth of
graduating
babes.
elementary classes can have. And I know lots of great fire chiefs and fire officers over the years that were great fire command officers, and you put them in front of a television camera.
They look like Ricky Bobby.
And they were lost.
What I do with my hands.
That's right. But you have not succumbed to that.
No.
Because you're just only a little shy.
Well, I know what it looked like, and I don't want people to have to stare, so I keep it brief. I know less is more.
That's right.
And,
That's
what
I'm doing.
That's right. We're going to stop for just a minute and go out and find out about the traffic passing through Mount Juliet.
Thanks, David. We appreciate it. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. It's $49.95, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, safety check too. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Already starting to slow down here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. All that traffic coming down through East Nashville right now. Traffic's on the increase through Mount Juliet as well as we check out I-40. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time. We've seen some radar out here this morning in some weird places. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check out all their flavors by logging on to GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Hi, this is Rick Wittrig. Do you have projects that need painting? Well, why paint when the Powder Coat Art Company will beautifully powder coat your project with a tough, durable, baked-on finish? We have options for commercial, residential, automotive, off-road, and motorcycle parts. See us on Facebook or Instagram, or for a quote, go online at powdercoatart.com or come see us at 1746 Sparta Pike in Lebanon.
Hey, TP.
Yeah, JB?
You ready?
For Friday Night Lights, you better believe it. Join us on the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night after the Lebanon High football game. We'll have all the scores for you and even post-game interviews with all of your Wilson County coaches.
Thank you to our sponsors, Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Palometto's Insurance, Sammy B's Restaurant, and Kenny Salas and the hometown team with Keller Williams Realty.
It's the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show with John Boyce and Trenton Perry, right here on WANT 98.9 FM.
Well, good morning and welcome back in the first half of Coleman and Company. And my guest on the first half, Chief Jamie Luffman of Fire Department Mount Juliet, and Justin Beasley, the new Public Information Officer for Fire Department Mount Juliet. And I appreciate both of you being here with me this morning.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Justin, let's talk just a little bit about how social media, and that is a big blanket, I think, that you have to throw over Facebook and Instagram and all of those things. Let's talk a little bit about how that has changed your job as a public information officer and just the news business in general.
Well, the latest numbers I've seen is there's more cell phones in the world than televisions. And a couple of years back, I went on a vacation with my family. I don't think we turned the TV on once at the beach. Obviously, we're at the beach, but everybody was on their phones when they were trying to decompress in their downtime. It's just the way of the new medium and where it's going. You can make an argument in big cities with local news. It's hard to make it home by 4, 5, and 6 to even catch the news. And then at 10, you're kind of competing with Netflix. So many people get the headlines on their phone right then and there and kind of know the information before they get home. So it's just the new way of communicating with people. A lot of us spend time on Facebook on our lunch breaks and, any kind of break. So It's really the new medium, the way things are going. You see a lot of Facebook Lives. You see local news kind of using those platforms to get to people even more. It's almost more important now than the television screen, which is hard to believe. But it's just the way things are going. You have to adapt. And fortunately for somebody in my position, I can get to a ton of people outside of Mount Juliet TV and get the message across with the city of Mount Juliet. So many people are on all three platforms as far as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even Nextdoor. It's just, you got to evolve with the times.
Do you think that that the 24-hour availability of news is maybe sort of a two-edged sword? It in many respects is good that you can find out immediately, particularly about weather-related situations and those kind of things. But by the same token, I wonder if we oversaturate people with news. What's your thought on that?
It's completely oversaturated, and it just depends on the field. Like I'm the only one competing with Mount Juliet, so you're gonna only get your information really from me and maybe a news outlet that comes in through. But normally with me within the walls, I'll have it first. But I mean, you look at other venues like sports and news. You kind of don't have to go to college to get a mass communication degree. You can start your own blog, which is fine. That's your right, and people do great jobs doing that. But instead of having one or two powerhouses locally, now you have so many different people to get your news from, and a lot of people don't exactly trust every source now these days. So it's completely oversaturated. I like the 24/7 type network of news telling, but it's definitely overwhelming. You can just get it at any time instead of appointment television like it was back in the day, which I think a lot of people miss.
And, so much of the electronic media is, it surprises me, really. My company recently did some work for a national brand, and we helped with a TikTok commercial. And it was really sort of my first exposure, I guess, to TikTok. And they made a commercial that was specific for TikTok. And when they released it on a Tuesday afternoon, and by Thursday morning, over 3 million people had already seen it, and like 700,000 people had shared it. I was floored at those kind of numbers.
And I think that's the way the medium's going too with TikTok, because the video has to be precise, basically 15 to 30 seconds. And quite frankly, that's our attention span now these days. I don't care what age you are. You want to see it, you want to get the point, and you want to move on. And that was certainly the way it came from my background in local news. I mean, you had a minute and 20 seconds to tell a story concisely. And I have a little bit more room to tell stories a little bit longer on social media with the city of Mount Juliet, but you do want to be respectful of people's time and make sure those first 15 seconds, they draw people in and to keep their attention. So yeah, it's just the new medium and new way of telling stories. It's pretty crazy that TikTok has jumped out like that.
But by the same token, you have to provide enough accurate information that people get the real story. And Jamie, I know that in the past there are times when people get only a part of the story. Mm-hmm. And probably more so for the law enforcement folks than from the fire side, but it happens on the fire side as well. And then that story, even though it's incomplete, becomes factual. And I think it's important that you have somebody that can help make sure that doesn't happen. And that it seems to me like that adding a public information officer in this day and time is a real positive thing for the department.
Yeah, and it shows it's also indicative of the growth of the city of Mount Juliet. It's one of the top 5 fastest growing cities in the state. There's just, I think, and Justin, you can chime in, it's just always been such a rush to be first with the story, the news story. And so they would take as much as they had, whether it be complete or not. and rush that way. A lot of times in law enforcement and certainly in fire, there's and you know this from your experience, there's the investigative span there. Once we figure out what this is, we've mitigated it down to time to investigate the who, what, where, when, and why. And that's when the news kind of slows down. Well, Justin, you can attest, the news never stops. And so it continues on. And then having somebody in-house, like Justin said, to be there on the scene with us, and he'll be, as I get updates, I'll give them to him, and he'll pass those on to the public. And so we'll try to make it as real time as possible.
But by the same token, and particularly when there's an investigative process, there's a necessity for some information to remain confidential until all of the leads are followed through with and all of the investigation is completed, so to not hamper the investigation.
Yes, one of the things we have to avoid is the court of public opinion, and sometimes you can, use the wrong adjective or adverb, and you're off on the wrong foot. So I miss the days of before we had Google and Siri, when all we had was Barney, Terry, and Michael over in the WEMA maintenance garage, and if they didn't know it, you didn't need to know it. So
that's right.
They took good, care of it.
they were the source.
By the way,
they're
they're the backbone of Coleman's listeners. So good morning, guys. Haven't seen you in a while.
Absolutely. So, Justin, will you still be using the same social media platforms that are already established? And let's tell folks where they can friend in and find you.
Well, we're more active on Twitter. Search City of Mount Juliet. I understand Twitter is not as big as Facebook, but Facebook is ramped up. We've got 4, 5, 6 posts on there a day of just numerous things like breast cancer awareness, spaghetti days. I mean, you name it, it's on there in some type of capacity. We have an Instagram page, City of Mount Juliet. Next door is City of Mount Juliet. With Kenny Martin and his love for TikTok, we might need to be on TikTok now, as we mentioned it here on this radio show today. So we're going to be on all these different platforms. And the blessing that I have with this job is I tell people I still do the same thing I did at Channel 4, but it's in a positive light, and it's still using storytelling methods. It's just now on the phone directly to somebody, as we said, more phones than television. So our audience is going to grow, and we're going to get the good word out. And I can only be good at my job if I get help from our listeners and from people who are on the other end of the Facebook page. So let me know all your great ideas. I'd love to meet you and get out to your event.
Do you plan to have a daily posting, the 8 o'clock Fire Department Mount Juliet Minute or something along that line? Or can folks look forward to seeing that in the future?
We've got some ideas, certainly in all those realms. We like to do Facebook Lives because those get a lot of views from people as opposed to just watching a video and seeing that it's already 3 minutes long. Somebody would really, like this live radio show, like to tune in and know that you're talking to them right then and there. So we've got a couple ideas around everything, but we're going to make sure everybody has as much information as possible, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing.
And maybe an opportunity for folks to send in fire safety questions about how to make their home or business safer, and those types of things. Yeah,
we've got a lot of new families, young families moving in, and so we can give them some information on how to child-proof their homes. Make them a little more safer for the toddlers as they come into town. And
I mentioned to Jamie the new certification with the person that completed the course about the baby seats in the back.
Safety seat.
I'm going to do a feature on that this week. Just think about all the new people here. They would love to have that resource, and it can save a life or two and educate the parent. I think that's a win-win. That's very helpful.
And he can also put those things for the City of Mount Juliet on the Mount Juliet Fire Facebook page, Mount Juliet Police Facebook page. I mean, there's all of those different avenues of media out there that center around the City of Mount Juliet. Justin has access to, and so if Twitter's not your thing, then you'll find it on Facebook, or you'll find it on TikTok or Instagram.
And hit Mount Juliet as well, and anything that's on those mediums will also be repurposed for Mount Juliet Television 2, Channel 3. So it will find you. That's my job.
Well, and is the television part of your responsibility as well? Is that fall under your bailiwick, so to speak?
I'm a contributor to it for sure. Big T, Travis Taylor, runs a great deal of that. But the great thing is I can just upload that exact file that's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, add it to Mount Juliet Television, so you're seeing a little bit more than the full screen Employee of the Month and the Board of Commissioners meeting that repeat. We're going to have fresh new material on there. So I think a lot of people at home that use that medium will enjoy that as well.
And Jamie, it's October, so we would be remiss if we didn't remind people to change their smoke detector batteries.
Yes.
And if they need, they've got fire safety questions, they can always contact Fire Department Mount Juliet.
That's
right?
it. And if they know someone that can't afford or is unable to install those fire detectors, to give their local fire department a call. We work closely with the State Fire Marshal's office to be able to provide those for folks that are less able to put those in themselves.
Chief Jamie Loveman from Fire Department Mount Juliet, and Justin Beasley, the new Public Information Officer from that department, been my first half guest. We'll let you go out and find out what the traffic's like.
Thanks, David. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, they have Lamprey quality tractor implements, including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty, extremely durable and well-built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's a little bit sluggish here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Traffic on Ellington Parkway coming inbound now. That's starting to build pretty good. Still working a couple of wrecks out here. One in the 3800 block at Dodson Chapel. That's going to be over in Hermitage. Traffic coming through Mount Juliet right now. Pretty much on schedule. 40 westbound. All that traffic headed towards the air there at Donaldson Pike. Oktoberfest at Obergatlinburg still going on through the end of the month. You still got time. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hardside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hardside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hardside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
Hi, everybody. This is Tommy Bryant, and along with my color commentator, Bob Lee, we'll be bringing you Cumberland University football right here on WANT and WCOR. Saturday, October 16, Cumberland travels to Campbellsville, Kentucky to take on the Tigers. Cumberland football right here on WANT and WCOR Lebanon.
It's going to be mostly sunny out there today with highs topping out near 80 degrees, so it'll be a great day to eat lunch outside. On Wednesday, skies will be a mix of sun and clouds with temperatures in the mid-80s. We stay dry on Thursday as well. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Well, good morning. Welcome back in the second half of Coleman and Company. I'm David Hale, sitting in for Coleman today. I appreciate him trusting me with the helm and letting me pilot the ship down the stream here. And our second half sponsor It's Hardside Senior Living, and on special assignment, Betty Kelly's here with me this morning to talk about Hardside.
Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Doing well. We at Hardside are going through a renovation period, and we're getting a little shining up.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it's really looking good and bright, and residents are loving it. There'll be a lot of changes in the decor and stuff, so it's going to look real good when we're done. But I am the activity director at Hardside, and so I guess you could say I'm the cruise director of Hardside. We do a lot of great things, and residents appreciate having things to do and stuff. So,
Do you have any availability of space with the remodeling?
We do. We have just 2 right now, small rooms, but of course, that could change in a heartbeat. So, but we do have 2 available if someone would like to come and tour. Just, please don't mind our mess from the renovations, but you're welcome to tour anytime.
Well, and Hardside has a history and is a well-established facility, and the fact that y'all have regularly maintained it, updated it, modernized, so to speak,
Yes, we have.
is sort of a credit to the way that y'all have always approached the mission of senior living there.
Yes, we try to do our best, and with these new renovations, I think that it'll brighten everything up. So, and
what's on the activity list for this week?
Well, being National Breast Cancer Awareness Week, we've been doing some things with that, and also Country Music Week. So we've been having a little country music going around in there. So that's about it.
I think it's important for those kind of activities to go on and provide all of those folks in senior living some opportunity. I think that's one of the things that makes us get old is when we stop enjoying and participating in life, right?
We do have a kind of fairly new program that we're doing with them. It's an exercise program, but it's in chairs. And we have a lady, Anne Lemoyne, who teaches it for us. And they also incorporate a little tap dancing with it, which is interesting. But they do a really good job, and they love it. And she is fabulous.
Well, the tap dancing being a good cardiac workout,
right? Yeah,
right?
And but it's in chairs, so it's very different. But we did get them all tap shoes, so they can kind of do the noise, I guess you could say. Right. And actually makes them feel better if they're involved in that kind of thing. So we do good, and of course we have bingo.
That's right.
You can't take away bingo. You have to have bingo.
You got to have bingo. Right?
Yeah.
Hardside Senior Living and Retirement and Assisted Living Community up on Castle Heights Avenue North. Mm-hmm. And you want to give folks a number to give you a call?
Yeah, 615-443-1994. And you can always pop in, take a tour. We also have the independent living too. So, anytime anybody would like to come and take a look.
Is there some availability in independent living?
Right now, there's not. We have a waiting list, and they're pretty popular. So,
but if you don't get on the list, you're not going to get in.
That's right, exactly. And I would like to give a shout out and a Hardside hello to Anne Lemoyne for all the things that she does for us. So I appreciate that.
So that's the Hearthside shout out, right? I forgot that Coleman always has y'all do a Hearthside.
They actually call it the Hearthside hello, but
yeah, there you go.
That's okay.
So, we'll change it a little since he's not here. Maybe he won't catch us. Okay?
Yeah, maybe he won't be listening.
All right, thank you for Betty Kelly. Thank you for being here, and thank you to Hardside Senior Living, retirement and assisted living community for being sponsors of the Coleman.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. With me on the second half from the Lebanon Special School District, Betsy Kegley, welcome in.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
Good.
Fine. So I'm going to put you on the spot just
Okay.
a little bit.
Go ahead.
Do you know how many special school districts are in Tennessee?
You know, that's a really good question, and I should know that. But you and I were just talking about memory right before we went on the air, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head at the moment, but there are not very many.
At one time, there were actually 3 in Wilson County, and there was the Special 6th and 10th, and then there was the Watertown Special School District.
That was before my time.
A long time. Well, probably mine too, but being sort of a history geek, there were those other special districts, but y'all have a unique opportunity with the special school district to provide some educational opportunities from a different perspective, not to take away from the county system by any means, but y'all have a unique opportunity for y'all students.
Well, we're small, and so that can be a real advantage sometimes. Our families know us. A lot of them went to school in our district, so they feel pretty comfortable with us. And then we feed directly into the Wilson County schools. We are on the same program as they are, as far as the standards that we teach and what we're responsible for. But we have a good relationship with Wilson County schools because we are pre-K through 8th grade, and so then our students head into Wilson County for high school. And but we are very fortunate that we're small and we get to know our families really well, and so that's a great advantage.
And y'all have over the years expanded the school system and built. I know my mother taught in the special school district, and she was the librarian at the old Lebanon Junior High where the sheriff's department is now, and then she oversaw the moving of the library to Walter J. when it was built, and she felt very strongly that the special 10th had some great opportunities for kids, particularly in the reading skills, and was, of course, a huge advocate for reading.
Well, I love a library, and we are very fortunate that we've got great libraries. And we have expanded. Just this year, we opened up Jones Brummett Elementary, and that gives us 7 schools. We have 5 elementary and 2 middle schools. And then our last build before that would have been Winfrey Bryant Middle School. So in some time in the future, we have plans, no date in mind, but when we built Jones Brummett, as most everybody knows, we made it to where we could attach a middle school to it. So there would be a middle school somewhere down the road as we continue to grow. But we are growing. We have over 4,000 students at this point. And if you just look around and see all the new developments, there are more to come.
Well, and I thought that it was a unique design and a smart design that Jones Brummett's design, where the middle school and the elementary school will share some common space, so that common space, cafeteria space, things like that are areas not used all day, and with the right kind of scheduling, it will make that area more useful more hours of the day.
Well, they'll have their own cafeterias. They'll share the kitchen because that kitchen equipment is very expensive, and that's one of the most costly areas of a school building. And so the middle school will attach the other side of that kitchen, and they'll share that space. But we feel like that was a really good investment at this point in order to hold down costs later on.
Well, I know several teachers from over there, and they were excited to have the opportunity to move into new classrooms and maybe be the first teacher to put their personal touch, if you will, on their classrooms and things like that. So the opening of a new school is really, for the teachers, really a big deal, isn't it?
It is. And I remember when we opened Winfrey Bryant, it was just wonderful to be in that new space. And there's a lot of excitement. And Becky Seaver is the principal there. She's doing a great job. The teachers are doing an outstanding job, and that whole community, building the community and the culture there, I think the families are excited to be a part of that. So, they'll be investing in something that'll be there for a very long time, and it's great to develop that.
So, Jones Brummett opened, did they pull students from any particular school or from several schools?
Well, they were pulled.
That student body.
They were pulled from all of our elementary schools to develop that new community there. So we rezoned, and they pulled from everywhere.
Okay. We're going to stop for just a minute. The traffic's zooming in toward Nashville. Let's find out about it.
Thanks, David. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's now 7:44. This update brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. TDOT was moving that stalled vehicle on 65 southbound near OHB. All that traffic flow trying to get down through Madison. It's really heavy now inbound on Vietnam Vets trying to get past Conference Drive. You also got a lot of traffic coming up from Rutherford County right now on 24 coming past Bell Road. A Prince's Hot Chicken is now open inside the Assembly Food Hall near the National Museum of African American Music on Broadway. Order online today at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Fiddler's Grove in the James E. Ward Ag Center presents Ghosts in the Grove, October 15th and 16th, with tours starting at 7 p.m. Expect ghosts and ghouls, history with a ghostly twist, and folklore. The Tennessee Ghostbusters and Scufflemoss will be in attendance as well. Chili, hot dogs, and hot chocolate will be on sale in the general store. Admission is $10 for adults, $5 ages 6 through 16. For more information, call 615-547-6111.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan. Join me, Bob Lee, Terry Stafford, and Joe Gardner as we bring you Lebanon High football live every Friday night right here on WANT and WCOR throughout this 2021 season. The Blue Devils entertain the Gallatin Green Wave Friday, October 22nd. Don't forget Blue Devil football on WANT WCOR Lebanon.
The Titans try to win a second consecutive AFC South Division title. Every snap
gives Henry around right end to the 5, to the end zone.
Every first down, every touchdown.
Touchdown Titans!
It's all heard here.
Brought to you by Fakeson Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, The Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811, call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
And good morning. Welcome in the second half of Coleman and Company, and we're talking about the Lebanon Special School District this morning. And before we left on the break, Betsy, we were talking about the students that are now at the new Jones and Brummett, and they came from. So those students came from Castle Heights. They came from Coles Ferry, Sam Houston,
Byers Dowdy.
Okay. Some even from Byers Dowdy. Okay.
We had a major, kind of shift. We tried not to be any more disruptive to families and to students than we had to be, but we did, need to make a rezoning change there. But the school's doing great. I think the teachers love it there, students love it there. Our families are excited to be at a new place. But, there's lots of great things going on in the district, and it's really good to be out on break at the moment. Our teachers get a break. Our students and families get to do some things and spend some time together. But we're excited to come back after the break and and kind of get back in a routine. And we've been off our routine a little bit for a while. So,
and maybe that sort of helped with the whole COVID situation a little bit, where the kids are dispersed a little bit for a few days, and maybe help with that situation as well.
I think so, but we're very fortunate in the fact that we had a really big increase, as everybody did, in August, but numbers have gone down, and we're seeing fewer and fewer teachers and students out, and it's starting to have that feel of, all right, let's have school. And we started out strong at the beginning of the year, even though it's a little difficult sometimes. You try to get back on schedule, start school all excited, and then it got a little rough for a little bit, but we're headed in the right direction, and we're just really excited about the possibilities for the year.
Well, and the masks make it even more challenging to be a teacher, and from an older student perspective, I did not realize how much I depended on reading people's lips.
True.
And seeing their face, and the biggest challenge I have are folks in the fast food line, and I'm like, I have no idea what you asked me.
Well, in Lebanon Special School District, as we've had some times where numbers were high, we've done some mass requested, and that's just to try to help us to get things back on track. But our teachers are really good. If they're at a distance when they are giving instruction, we make sure that students can understand, and they may not have a mask on when they're at a distance. But we are mask requested, and those who feel strongly about needing to do that are doing that. Those who have some health issues are making sure that their students are doing that. But there's choice there, so we feel like that's important.
I think it's important for particularly elementary school students learning new words and those type of things, to be able to see how that word forms as you speak it.
Absolutely. We're making sure that's happening.
Absolutely. So an additional challenge that the pandemic has presented to the educational world, right? And is that necessary amount of contact for kids to learn.
But we're going ahead and planning and scheduling things. We're looking at hoping to be able to open back up for lots of things, and we're just having school as normal and happy to be doing that, and just starting back with some of the programs that we've been doing. So it's exciting to have that feel, and we're playing sports and all that good stuff.
I want to go back for just a second to where we sort of started, and that is even the existence of special school districts. And at the break, I asked you what it took for the special school district to expand, and if XYZ construction company builds a new subdivision, does it automatically become part of the Lebanon Special School District? And we were discussing the fact that's not the way it works.
No, it's not. There's a lot of building going on, but the only ones that will be our students are the ones that are within our boundaries, and those boundaries don't really change. It would take a special act for that to happen, and so we're growing. Just driving around it, we'll have somebody call in and say, what bus is my student going to ride? And we'll look it up, and it's a street that they've already got people in houses, and we didn't realize they were in houses already in that particular area. We try to watch it really carefully. Mr. Benson, our director of schools, and Jeff Ashley, who is our transportation director, they really carefully watch those new developments to see when we're going to have kids that start riding buses and showing up at our schools. But we're growing. There's no doubt about that. Our community's growing. Our schools are growing. But it also leaves lots of good opportunities for people to work for Lebanon Special School District as we grow. we've got openings. We need bus drivers and cafeteria workers and after school employees for our SACC program. I would encourage anybody that's looking to get into Lebanon Special School District to keep an eye on our website. I know we're looking right now for a student information person to come who works with some technology and just lots of great opportunities. And it's a wonderful school district. And we encourage people to come in. And we have people looking all the time to come and work with us.
So, like most businesses all across the country, y'all have vacancies and have needs to fill. And
we do.
I know that a few weeks ago, y'all were really putting a push on to find some bus drivers. I know the county has been in the same predicament that bus drivers are sort of at a premium right now.
They are, and we have been so blessed. We have wonderful bus drivers that really, really love the kids. A lot of them do it because they want to be with the kids. But we've been fortunate in the fact that we haven't had to cancel a bus route, which I know a lot of school districts have had to do because they don't have drivers. But we love our drivers and appreciate them, want to take good care of them. And but we always need more because you got to have sub drivers when somebody's sick, and we try to train. But our drivers too are really fortunate because we have teacher monitors who ride the buses, especially in the afternoons. And so almost all of our buses have a teacher monitor on them. That way the driver can drive, and the monitor helps with the kids if their kids need some special attention. So we're very blessed in that area.
Well, years ago, the driver could sort of manage the students and drive as well. But with traffic the way it is today and those kind of things, the driver has a full load on their plate to keep the bus going the right direction. Right?
They do. And, with safety first and in everything we do, safety's first. We just want to be sure that every single day attention is given to getting those kids to school safely, getting them home safely. And so it's a really important job. It's a really important job. And we appreciate those drivers and what they have to contribute to our school system. They're the first face a kid sees every single morning, and they can make a big difference in a child's day. And that's a big responsibility.
Well, and in this day and time, the folks working in school nutrition, and even as advanced as our country is, there are still some students out there whose main nutrition for the day comes from their school meal.
That is very true. And Angie Ballard, who runs our food services, she is wonderful. We've been very fortunate with some of the programs that we're involved in that our students get a free breakfast every day. We've got free lunches, and we want to make sure everybody gets fed. It's very true that there are students who don't have other opportunities, or the opportunities are limited. So schools have become very full service, and we take care of lots of needs for kids, but making sure they're fed is one of them. We send food home in backpacks for those who don't have it. That's one of the things during COVID and the tornadoes. We made sure our children were fed because we not only teach them, but we love them. We love their families and just want to take care of them.
I know that Angie's very passionate about the summer meal program.
Yes, she is, and we feed a lot of students in the summer, and
with the neon bus.
With the neon bus, and our bus now we've got a book bus as well. So you can get a meal, you can come on and read. We're handing out free books, and just trying to take care and help students be well rounded. But some families don't have the opportunity to have books in their homes, and I love to see a kid with a book. There's nothing I love better. And so that's a great opportunity as well.
Schools have become so much more involved in children's lives over the last 30 years or so, in particular. And at one time, the kids went to school, they got their lessons, and everything else came from home. But now, with both parents working and a lot of other factors, the things that happen at school become more and more important in those children's lives every year, don't they?
It really is true that there are so many services that are provided now by the school system. And the most important thing is that the school and the parents work together as a team. There's got to be a lot of good cooperation to help take care of those children. And when the parents are working a lot or they've got, other issues going on in the home, a lot of times they need help. And if they can all collaborate well and love those kids, and we can love them through things and help families, and we need families to be on board with us too. And we're fortunate, Lebanon Special School District, that's the case most of the time.
Well, and I know that you have resources in the schools, along with the school resource officers from the sheriff's department that can sit down and help the kids if there's a rough spot at home that they need to talk about, or
every school has a school counselor, but we also have some outside counseling agencies that work with our kids when needed. If there's a referral and that's what the parents would like to see happen, we've got Centerstone. We're working with STARS to help, and that social emotional piece is huge right now with students. We work on that as well.
Absolutely, and the pandemic has added to that as well.
It has.
It has been stressful for all ages, and the children, school age kids are certainly not immune to that. They're no exception to that.
That's true. And children work best when there's structure. They develop and grow best in structure. And we've had just a lot of missteps in structure with the pandemic, and people have just been off schedule. And
when do y'all head back to school?
We head back to school next Monday.
Next Monday.
So the break will be over, and everybody will roll in with a little bit of a tan and a rest.
Absolutely. We appreciate you being here. I'm David Hale, sitting in for Coleman Walker on Coleman and Company, and I hope all of you have a safe